Hey guys! So today we are going to be looking at what a function actually is. So I'm going to give you some definitions. In this video, we're going to go over the definitions for a relation, a function, and then domain and range. So this video is all about definitions, and then the next video is going to be how you can determine if a relation is a function given ordered pairs, a table, graphs, and something called mapping. So if you could update your table of contents, please. So you want to add in what is a function. That's going to be on my page 38. So go ahead and do that, please. And then turn to your page 38 and title it. So we're going to title this, "What is a function?" Again, that was on my page 38. Okay. So before we get started, we need to understand what a relation is. So a relation, that is our first vocabulary word. And basically what a relation refers to is, can you do that in the other room, please? Sorry, guys. Thanks. He's putting my whiteboard together, so I have to be nice, but I feel like it was distracting. Well, it was distracting to me. So anyway, sorry, a relation is a set of ordered pairs. That's it. Okay, so you have your ordered pairs, and we know that in an ordered pair, right, we have X and Y. So somehow that Y is related to the X, and they're in a relationship, and that is shown by the parentheses. It's like they're hugging. Isn't that cute? So that's a relation. So any set of ordered pairs is a relation. Okay, don't overthink it. There's nothing else beyond that. So X and Y, they're in a relation. We need to know that because we need to know what a function is. So a function. So if you hear the word function, I'm not sure what comes to your mind, but I think of something that has a purpose. So the function for a washing machine, its function is to clean my clothes, right? The function of a dishwasher is I put in the dirty dishes, it cleans it, and then I take out clean dishes. That's the function. The function for my vacuum cleaner is I turn it on and I go over my rugs and I now have no more dog hair or cracker crumbs or anything else that my daughter has spilled all over the rugs. So I no longer have that. So that is pretty much the same thing in math. So a function kind of tells us the rule for the relation. So that might not make sense right now, and that's okay. As we go on, it's going to make more sense to you, okay? So if you can think about, we're gonna draw a diagram, and you're not allowed to comment on my drawing, okay? So we have something here, right? And this is our input. So if you think of that, that's like my dirty dishes. Okay, so I have a dirty plate. I put that into my washing machine. Okay, So this is the function, so AKA the washing machine. And after it performs the function, I get out an output. So sorry, that says output. Okay, so I put in my dirty dish, put it into my washing machine. It performs its function, and I get out a clean dish. Okay, so our inputs in relation to math, and we've been talking about graphs, and so you know that the graphs in math deal with X and Y, right? So your input is your X value, right? Those are your independent variables. Okay, so X can be anything, any number, right? We can put that in to the function. This function is like a rule. Okay, so we put the X value in, we perform a rule on it, such as, uh-oh, my dogs are barking. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can pause the video. Uh-oh, and now my daughter is up. Okay, sorry guys about that. My dogs just noticed that there was a car parked outside. So, as I was saying, the function rule we could say, for example, is 2x plus 5. And what I'm going to get out of that is my y value, or my dependent. So my dependent variable, right? So this would look like y equals 2x plus 5, which should look very, very familiar to you because we've been graphing those, right? We've been graphing those linear equations. So what we can now call them are linear functions. It's a function, okay? So that's basically all a function is. A function is like you can give me any x value, I use this rule, and I get a y value, okay? And you've been doing that since Unit 4, when we solved systems of equations or we used substitution. We just didn't have a name for it, okay? So that's what a function is. And I want you to think about it this way too. If I put in one dirty dish to my washing machine, so I apparently like to waste water. I don't know why anyone would just put one dish in, but anyway, I put one dish in to my washing machine. I'm not going to get out more than one dish, right? Because I only put one dish in. So I put one dish in, my washing machine applies the function rule, which is clean the dishes, and I get out a clean dish. I put in an x value, can be anything, let's say it's 0. So I put in a 0, I apply my rule, 2 times 0 is 0, and 0 plus 5 is 5. So my y value is 5. So my ordered pair would be 0, 5. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So a function, one of the big rules for a function is that all input values, or the x values in this case, can only have one output value, which is the y. Okay? So if your x value has more than one y value, it is not a function. Okay, so I think at the beginning, function is kind of hard to wrap your brain around. But as we use it, I think it'll be a lot easier, right? So I always tell you that. I always say that at first it's going to be hard to understand, but then we're going to put it into place and use it, and it will make more sense. Okay, so the next vocabulary word we need to talk about is something called the domain. So a domain refers to all the independent values of the function. So all the x values that are part of the function. Okay, so for your linear functions, when we graphed linear equations, right, we made straight lines on the graph. Those were linear equations. They're also linear functions. And the domain, or all the x values, were all the numbers between negative infinity and positive infinity, because I can put in any x number, right, into our y equals mx plus b, and I'll get a y value. That's the domain. So the domain are all of the x values, okay? So therefore, the range are all of the dependent values of the function. Okay, so all of your y values. So the range would also be all the numbers between negative infinity and positive infinity for those lines that we graphed, because the y values went on and on forever and ever in both directions. Okay, so that's the vocabulary. It might not make sense right now, but in the second video, we're going to apply these words to identifying if a relation is a function or not. And hopefully by the end of that video, it will make more sense to you. So we're going to go on to the next page in our table of contents and in our notebooks, and we're going to do that in the next video. So I'll see you soon.